F1 debate show over. The channel has been running for 4 years. Well, you're going to have to find out until the end of the episode to find out if that is true or not. And I can say, because this episode wouldn't really be going ahead if it wasn't, it's kind of false, but not entirely. So again, you'll have to wait until the end of the episode to, of course, find out what we are on about. Last week we did promise you a channel update, so this is going to be incorporating this, and of course that's what we're going to start off with. So firstly, we're going to be explaining what has moved around and the new race week schedule of the F1 debate show going forward. We have 6 races left in the 2020 season, a very quirky COVID filled, going to new destinations, new names of races, like whatever the Eiffel Grand Prix is. It's been a weird season, but it's been fun, and this is what's left for the remaining 6 races of the 2020 season, and of course beyond into 21, and hopefully even beyond that. I'll say a few episodes have shifted days, and unfortunately one has left our schedule. One is also changing, but again, you'll have to wait until what we made for the end of the episode. So we're going to be starting off with the obligatory. If this is the first time you are seeing us on your screens, welcome to the F1 debate show. Please subscribe with us, hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every time we upload. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. We will have 6 races left. We have 6 races for you guys to do us the great honour of subscribing and getting us up to the 3K mark, and that is our goal for the end of the 2020 season. Please do that. We have so much great content coming your way, and that is exactly what we're going to be explaining right now. So this is a race week. So the race is on Sunday. You have 2 days to recover. You have the Monday and the Tuesday to just relax. There's no Formula 1, but you might be craving a bit of F1 debate show, John. So on the Wednesday, on of course the third day of the week, F1 DS on YouTube is back. So what is happening on Wednesday? What is the episode? When's it coming out? And yes, what is it about?
Yeah, so nothing really changing here in terms of the placing of F1 24/7 news. It's our weekly news show where we take about 3 or 4 stories from the week of Formula 1. Maybe some that you will know, you would have heard of, and some of them that maybe you haven't heard of. Maybe some obscure news stories, or maybe even some funny stories that don't necessarily make the more serious news videos on YouTube, or F1 news that is anyways. And we are changing that up just a little bit in terms of the quality of the content. So it used to be just pictures, audio, us talking about the news, and we found it a bit bland, I would say. We found it a bit bland for the content, and I would say probably for us as well. We were like, we could do more with this news. I mean, of course the views were doing really good, so we were like, okay, then let's add a bit more effort to it. Let's see, what we can do with this. So we got some graphics in as well for the new F1 24/7 news. We were on camera as well, which felt more natural, of course, for us. And then recently, which the latest F1 24/7 news, which if you haven't seen it already, go and check it out. We added in some quotations from other people about that said story. Of course, we've got pictures like normal. We'll be changing the logo as well. So there'll be a set logo for the news just to make it stand out more of a branding type of thing. That's pretty much what it's going to be about as well. There'll be like I said, some little graphics here and there, maybe some stats showing about if we're talking about a team or a driver perhaps. So that's what we'll be doing. And a new that we've added in as well, which I would say has gone down quite well with the viewers, is Word on the Street, which is like the transfer segment. Now, don't expect that in every single F1 24/7 news, because there's not every week there will be a transfer news story. But if there's a rumour floating about, whether that's a driver going to be signing a contract, or even a driver going to be moving teams, or even a man going to be, or a woman going to be buying a Formula 1 team for that matter, I don't know. So whatever's floating about rumour-wise, we'll include that in Word on the Street, so we can say, well, Word on the Street is Hamilton's going to be leaving Formula 1, for example.
Wow.
But he's not, by the way. Don't immediately take that out of context. But you get the drift. You get the gist of it. So that's what we'll be including as well. And like I said, there'll be just new things being added on. Maybe as the weeks go by, so expect some changes. Expect some new things being added, some things being trialed and stuff, until we are set with a right plan as to where we are happy with. And we've made some good strides with the news, and of course we both are very happy with the changes that we have made. So that's Wednesday sorted. Like I said, nothing changed much. F1 24/7 news is on Wednesday. Oh, and by the way as well, before I pass over to Lyle for the next one, all episodes will be at 6 PM UK time, I must say, or BST. By the way, just because we used to have it, all the episodes used to be one time would be this, one time would be that. We're all putting them in at 6 PM. Lyle, that's Wednesday sorted. what's Thursday got to offer? And this is where the first change comes into the schedule, I believe.
That's right, yeah. Well, not just one, two changes. So obviously we have to start off with a bit of sad news as well, or well, not really sad. We're happy about getting rid of it, and that is the departure of a certain episode or like a series. You know, something that of course runs ahead of the Grand Prix, and of course that is the preview shows. You know, just to let you guys know, of course, you know, we love talking about the race. Of course, we love giving our predictions. But it just became, I think, in terms of the videos that we have left coming up, it just became a little bit too hectic in our week. You know, of course, we've made the news. You know, whoever's, you know, because we take time to doing that. Whoever's made that, it gets a bit hectic between doing that and of course recording the debate show and recording the next thing I'm going to be going on to. It got a little bit hectic, so we've decided to just, you know, put that aside for now. And I mean, that's no guarantee that it will never come back in the future. 2021, it might be like the previews might be where it's all at. We might want to talk about them because they talk about the predictions is amazing. Obviously the prediction league is doing great. We absolutely love giving our predictions on there, but for now we are going to set it aside. And of course we are setting it aside because of the new thing that's coming in. Well, it's not really new. It was on 2 days beforehand, but again, because it's been revamped, I would say it's quite new. And that, of course, is Agree or Disagree. Me and Jordan love this series so much.
I love this series.
I think we're almost at 20 episodes of Agree or Disagree. We take you guys' full, amazing, crazy, bold statements that, of course, you give us on Twitter, on YouTube, and our social media platforms. And we talk about them and basically, do we agree or disagree? We get an incredible thumbnail out of it. We get an incredible title out of it. You know, just like what Jordan said there about Lewis Hamilton leaving Formula One. Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. It gets everyone hooked instantly. And yeah, obviously we absolutely love it. Yeah, one of definitely our best things to do. I can also say as well that this is going to be the longest video, I would say, on our channel. We make them around 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Of course, we have a great discussion about them. And again, from the news that you will hear, in terms of on YouTube, this is our biggest, me and Jordan sitting here for half an hour, 40 minutes, having a big kerfuffle about Formula One. But as I say, it's absolutely incredible. And of course, you guys as well, you know, big clap out for you. You give us some amazing things to be read out. Also as well, along the way, we did have some help from two guys in our preview shows. We had help from Jack Elker, who is the F1 stat man. He of course provided the stats, hence the stat man. And of course we referenced him on all the videos that we did. Again, great stats from him, but of course we don't need them anymore. And also Dan from F1E Reviews. He provided us some amazing onboard footage of all of the race in 2020. And as we said at the start, not all of them are on the calendar. Not all of them are in F1 2020. Actually, very few of them are in F1 2020. So these came from Formula E onboards, different, you know, styles of racing on board. Absolutely incredible. So again, those two, have, you know, hats off to you guys. Thank you very much for all of your hard work. We won't be needing you anymore. That is you. Go on 0-hour contract. You are done. Yes, so obviously thank you for that.
That's harsh.
But that is our Thursday done. Let us know in the comment section below. Do you think a Thursday is gone from a good to a but we don't want to hear the we want to hear the good because definitely we think that also. So Jordan, Fridays is a recovery day. Saturday, we're going to knock Saturday on the head for a little bit because we're going to be moving on to that, and that's our big thing. But it's Sunday, a race day. Grand Prix has just happened. Crossed the line. David Crawford has gone. And here is the winner of the 2020 Portuguese Grand Prix. Of course, the next race. And then what is going to be happening on our channel on YouTube?
Well, normally, as you guys will know, we do our instant... we don't call it an instant race reaction, but that's pretty much what it is. But we just call it a race reaction. You know, clues in the name, really. So what we do is that we'll write down some points, talk about some, you know, main talking points from the Grand Prix, put it into a video straight after the race, so you can see our raw emotion almost as close as to what you can get if you were watching it live with us. There's been some times where it's been like, I just can't contain how good that race was. For example, Mugello in Italy were two examples of that, where it's just like, what? But there's been some boring races where it was like, well, Spain, for example, where you're like, demotivated, race wasn't good. But hey, we are fortunate F1 is back. So, and we did do them live in the first place, but I think we kind of preferred doing it in video format. That's what we used to do back in the day. That's what we did last season. So we decided, I tell you what, let's just revert back to the video format as well. Because sometimes the internet connection wasn't too good at times, and it didn't look that good as well. So we just decided, right, okay, let's just revert back to what we used to do on camera. Now, like the news, which we have already made changes to that, with the race reactions, there's been no change into what we normally would do, let's say last season or even the season before that. There's just basically us on camera talking about the race, going through team by team, start with the Mercedes, then Ferrari, then Red Bull, where they qualified, where they raced, talk about the race itself, what do we think about it, and then at the end we'll of course announce the race classifications. We will be making some changes to the race reactions. Now what that is we don't know yet, so expect some changes maybe from now till the end of the season. Then there might be more set in stone at the start of next season, which, I mean, there might be some things set in stone between now and the end of the season, just whatever we feel comfortable with. But we are just polishing out some other episodes, like I said, the news and agree to disagree, like what I said before. So once we're happy up to standard with them, we'll then look at the race reactions, because we do think we need to be just a bit better at how we present it and how the screen looks, instead of just looking at us ugly mugs for about 25 to 30 minutes or so. But if you've got any suggestions as to what you want to see, then let us know in the comment section below, and not just with them but with other series as well, with the news and agree to disagree. If you want to see anything added into those, then of course let us know in the comment section below, and we may consider adding it in. So yes, that's pretty much the Sunday sorted as well. Like I said, straight after the Grand Prix, we'll jump on camera, upload it to YouTube, we'll talk about the race, upload it to YouTube. But like I said, there may be some changes along the way between now and the end of the season. So that's pretty much the race week covered, Lyle. Apart from, we're missing one thing, aren't we? What?
Yes.
What do we normally have? So we've got the news, which we, as we do. We've got agree to disagree. We've got the race reaction. We're missing something, aren't we? We're missing something.
Yes, we are. Yes.
What is it?
We're missing something important on Saturday, and that, of course, is the name of this entire channel, the F1 Debate Show. Is that
of course.
Yes, there we go.
Yes, it is. How could I forget?
And the question that we're asking today is the F1 Debate Show over? And the answer is, the F1 Debate Show on YouTube, just the singular episode, is over. But it's not over completely, because we are going to be moving platforms, guys. We are going to be moving to SoundCloud. The F1 Debate Show was intended to be a podcast, and of course we'll elaborate on that in a bit more. And of course, if you guys have been with us through the 4 years and the embarrassing 2016, you'll of course know that I think that was our raw intention to be a podcast. And, we still want it to be. We really, really want it to be. We love the radio. We love those kind of just chit-chat, beyond the grid style kind of thing. Of course, no copyright. We're not going to be calling it Beyond the F1 Debate Show or anything like that. We want it to be a podcast, and it definitely is. So, the plan is, of course, that we are going to be releasing the F1 Debate Show on SoundCloud, a new platform. Of course, links will be left in the description box below of this episode. Of course, vice versa, over on SoundCloud, we will also leave links to our YouTube channel. We'll be dual channel for the first time in our history, which we're incredibly excited about. It's audio only over there, and of course you can listen to it offline. You can close your phone, you can do other applications, you can listen to it offline as well if you have a subscription and things like that. It's more of a podcast.
Delete it if you want. If you're sick of us, you can just delete it.
You can give us a follow, you can unfollow us, you can block us, you can for us, for our sake, because obviously we hope you guys love our content. We really, really do, and of course we change a lot of our stuff for you guys. We don't know how you feel about this, of course. Again, let us know in the comment section below. But for us personally, we think this is the best thing for the channel. We can make them longer, we can have a chat, we can make them more informal. And again, that's what I'm very, very excited for us to do, because me and Jordan, as you know, we've been friends for over a decade now. We met up at the 2010 British Grand Prix, and we've talked about Formula 1 constantly ever since. I think we take out time to sleep, but then afterwards we're straight back on Formula 1. We can't be shut up, can we? And that's what we do. And I think with this podcast idea, it takes away the video format. It takes away the fact that we're just talking to a camera and we're having a debate amongst ourselves. Me and Jordan were talking about Formula One as we do off camera, and we're talking about it amongst ourselves. And again, this is what we think a lot of you guys miss out on, because when the cameras are off, you miss out on all this talking. We talk for hours before we record and we talk for hours afterwards. And this podcast is that before and after. It really, really is. And I'd say we are absolutely chuffed to be doing this. So as I say, we are going to be releasing every Saturday at 6 p.m. UK time. Very much similar to YouTube, but this one will be on SoundCloud, possibly longer as well. I think the first one that we've got listed is over an hour long. Again, we will be talking about, of course, Formula One. We'll be talking about the big headlines again, as we do on YouTube. We'll also be sharing it on YouTube, and we'll also be showing snippets on YouTube in a bit more of a smaller video, again, just to hook you guys' attention. Hopefully send you over there. You might not be watching this video and you might expect the F1 debate on Saturday. If you see the snippet video or the shorter video, then hopefully we'll send you over there, which of course we definitely want you to do. We'll be talking about Formula One, we'll talk about the main topics, but we'll just be talking about us and having a conversation. It really, really is the podcast, and honestly, I cannot sell this. I'm so excited about this, and as we say, we hope you guys are as well. I mean, Jordan, obviously, you were the man who had the idea at first back in 2016 to create a podcast. You said it's fallen away from that idea, unfortunately. But again, your idea was to bring it on SoundCloud as well. I can't sell it enough, so I mean, yeah, can you sell it anymore? And also I've given some of the reasons why we've moved across. But what in the first episode, of course, tomorrow, what can people expect in that episode and moving forward on our different platform?
Yeah, I'll just elaborate as to what Lyle was saying there before about the debate show itself. Like, the idea of it came about, I just wanted a channel as to where, me, I'm a mate, and talk about Formula One just as like giving two opinions, like, let's say, having a conversation. And at times it has been like that, and times it hasn't. And there's been like moments, like, this isn't just like this year or even last year, this has been probably since 2017, I would say. 2016 was like a really fun year, which we do explain in the podcast. But since 17, probably about halfway through 17, I was a bit, maybe it's not how I pictured it. It's not coming out in production, if you know what I mean. It's not how I visioned it. But the thing is that I didn't know what I was visioning, if that makes any sense. So I was just like, well, okay, we're on camera, we'll run with it. And it's only been for the past 2 to 2.5 years, I've been on and off with the idea of changing the debate show to a podcast. So like 1 week I'll be like, yeah, I want to do it. I think we should just have audio only, have a conversation. But then I've been like, well, do people want to do that? We're already on camera. We've established ourselves on camera. That's what we are. And just that whole back and forth thing, we'll put a lot of time and effort into graphics at the time, and we have paid, other people to make graphics for us. It's like we've wasted our money and stuff like that. But it's never felt better to do it now than at any other stage. It feels like, okay, I haven't had any regrets or any doubts about it for a good few months. And pitched the idea to Lyle. He completely agreed with it. He liked the idea, because if you have seen debate shows, we do like to talk a lot, and I keep saying it to Lyle, and I keep telling other people who ask about the channel, I say it's a podcast. But then I'm like, well, it's not a podcast because we're on camera. We're talking to you guys. We're not talking to each other. Even though we sometimes do have like a little conversation, but that's as much as you get. And it's kind of slipped away from the idea of, well, me and Lyle, we aren't having a conversation. We're not like negotiating or debating about one thing. We're giving our opinion, talking to you guys about it, and then I might respond with mine straight away. And it's like that's not what that's not what the debate show is, and maybe it's went on a bit too long for that. So yeah, I wanted just to. I think it is a good idea for me and like to sit down. It is a bit of excuse to go on longer about things. So if a podcast is over an hour, it's like with the podcast, that's fair enough. But having it on video, people don't want to watch people for an hour just having a conversation. Of course, you can come back and forth, but people might not get that idea. And also as well, when I originally thought the idea of the F1 debate show and like, seeing how long the videos were, like, oh wow, they're about 40 minutes long. That is a long time for a video. I was like, well, people could just listen to us instead. But like I said, the conversation flowing wasn't a podcast conversation. It was just me talking to a camera, giving my thoughts. And like I said before, we speak about we talk for about an hour and a half on Skype before we record. So maybe we've already let out our emotions, we've let out our conversation already. And I've always felt like the conversation flows better when we're just talking in person, on Skype, whatever. But then when I get to the debate shows, I kind of the realization kicked in, and I was like, this isn't a conversation. So we, of course, went on to SoundCloud. Well, we spoke about it at first. We did an episode which comes out tomorrow. We've already pre-recorded it. And if you want to know more about that, if you want to know a little bit about that, it's basically we're talking about how we met, the start of the F1 debate show. What else did we talk about? I think we talked about our trip to Monza. And we talk about this weird cringy film that we went to go and see in 2013. It's like our first.
Don't spill it though. Don't spill it though.
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it. Of course, that'd be ridiculous.
I mean, but yeah, it's like, like as I said, we are talking about Formula 1 as well, but we're talking about ourselves. And that being said, we're not going to make every video about ourselves, because we know that we're not. I don't want this to.
No, it won't be.
We're not like these. Let's be fair. Like, we're not like these, common content creators who just want to talk about themselves and their lives. Where we get to the point where, like, we're not like that. Of course, we're hating to talk about Formula 1, which of course we're doing. But like what John said there, it's conversation. We talk about things. Because again, like, for me, for my sake, I always feel like a lot of times when I record the F1 debate show, John will say something, and I'll be like, I want to say something, I want to say something now. I mean, of course, the internet connection and stuff, kind of, it stops you from having a real world conversation. But, he'll say something, and I'll be like, I really want to say something, or I really want to compare it to a moment in school. And it'll never work. It feels like you guys don't know what we're on about. But then I guess in this way, I mean, you still don't. But it just feels it's a conversation. It really is a it's a conversation. I'm so excited.
Yeah, like if you want to give your opinion, it feels like you're like butting into the conversation.
That's
like,
It's
like I'm talking to the viewer, and Lyle just puts in like as if you're having a conversation in person, and then someone puts in and goes, "Oh, by the way, I want to give my thoughts." It's like, hang on, I was having a conversation here. It's not like that, but that's the kind of vibe you got. But when we did it in the podcast, and like I was talking and Lyle would butt in, it felt that wasn't the case. Yeah. I was talking to Lyle, and Lyle was like, "Oh, actually." Because we do that a lot, and I'm pretty sure you guys do it as well. But yeah, so obviously, what to expect on the podcast is, of course, Formula 1. That's the main aspect of it. But sometimes we do want to go a bit left of field and talk about something completely different. Talk about, I don't know, like a funny memory that we had. So when like I said, we might talk about something about Formula 1 or even the debate show on Skype. And then all of a sudden we're on the conversation about this funny time at school, or this funny time at the football, or this funny time when we, and then but like we could share that, and people could be like, oh wow, this is the side to these lads that I didn't know was there, type of thing. So you get to know a bit more about us as well, and about our opinions on Formula 1. So that the opinions on F1, they won't change at all. So like, it would, of course, mainly about F1, about what's happening in the week or whatever, or big topic. But there might be like little snippets of like a little bit of one topic, a little bit of another topic as well. And we'll be scrolling through Twitter as well, looking for ideas, what we can talk about at that said point. And of course, getting to know your guys' opinions as well. We love hearing what you guys have to say. Like what Lyle said before about agree or disagree. You guys do send in some really good opinions. I mean, we want to hear yours as well, included in the podcast as well. So we'll post something on Twitter saying, all right, okay, these are the topics for this week, or we might just do like a little segment where we'll go, right, okay, fans' opinions about something that's we might talk about, I don't know, Max Verstappen wins this race, or Max Verstappen gets his penalty, but we could say, right, okay, what's your opinions on Toyota's entry in Formula 1, or Toyota's time in Formula 1, or Mark Webber's career, you know what I mean? Just something completely different. So you're not getting the same one topic story, you get a little bit of everything, you know what I mean? So that's the idea of it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this idea. Of course, Lyle is as well. We do hope you are excited as well about the podcast. But no, I'm excited for this, Lyle. When we recorded it, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was different. It was relaxed. It was better. It's like, yeah, like we're not disappearing as such. The channel will be sticking about, of course, but we just thought we'll give you this kind of little idea as to where we are right now. Of course, our personal lives, they have changed now, so we do need to make some schedule changes as well. So with the channel, so it fits around our lives, which is a lot better now. So hopefully we can make more regular content. So Lyle, I'm so excited for the brand new era of the F1 debate show.
Oh, I cannot wait, absolutely, John. incredible. This title hopefully isn't clickbait because it is actually true. The F1 debate on YouTube is over, but the F1 debate
sort of, yeah,
as a whole is not, and we are at full pace. We have broken through that, that F1 debate show gas pedal. We have broken it through the floor, and we are pushing as much as we can. We are a freight train with no brakes at the moment, and that's what we want to be running to. Getting through 3K, doing well on SoundCloud, getting interaction, even more so with you guys as well. Of course, we have agree or disagree on YouTube, but we also have SoundCloud as well. We hope that you guys can join us in that, and of course, if you haven't already, go and check that place out. It is good. And yeah, we're going to be on it from tomorrow. I absolutely cannot wait. And I think we've said as much as we can in today's episode. It has been a good one. Thank you very much for watching, of course, this episode. If this is your first one, we know it's a good episode to start with because, of course, we've given all of our ideas and information out. Thank you very much for watching. As I said at the start, please subscribe, get us to 3K, and of course, hopefully you enjoy all our content on YouTube and of course our new venture on SoundCloud. Leave in this comment section below everything, any opinions that you have, any changes, do you like them, do you not? Also, what do you think about SoundCloud? I mean, it's an experiment in a way. Me and Jordan, of course, are 99% pushing for SoundCloud, but of course, if it does not work, we will be back on YouTube. But we, as I say, you have to take a leap of faith, and that's exactly what we have done today. Thank you very much for watching this episode, guys. Stay safe. We hope you enjoy all of our content on YouTube and SoundCloud. We hope you can see for the next video, and of course tomorrow's episode on SoundCloud. Stay safe, and just like the F1 debate show on YouTube, it's not goodbye. It's see you later.
See you later, guys.